Hi neighbors, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Neighbors. It is I, Jerry Ellen, and today on Cooking with Neighbors we are making such a delicious stuffing. If you don't already have one, make this. Your guests will absolutely love it. This is a collaboration video. Surprise! It's with 4 other channels. Wonderful people, wonderful friends that make wonderful food, and their information will be at the end of this video, so please stick around to the end so that there's going to be a bit of a slideshow and just kind of sharing some information about what they're doing on this Thanksgiving menu. I'm so excited. You want to know why? I've never been part of an American Thanksgiving. This is my first time being part of an American Thanksgiving. We are actually going to do a dinner on that weekend, not the day of, because my husband and Casey and that are working. But I'm so excited for the holidays. I have so many things planned for this channel for the holidays that your notification bell is going to be going ding, 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 ding now until the new year. Also, neighbors, this video is a voiceover video. Reason being is that we were having company coming over and all hands were on deck. Graham was vacuuming, Casey was pitching in, the dog was barking. So to eliminate all that noise, I cut it all out and did a voiceover. I didn't do a taste test at the end because, like I say, we were having company and we were kind of just wanting to get everything looking perfect. Okay, so here I have 3 baguette breads. I'm slicing them into about 1 inch thick and quartering them up. I'm going to keep doing this until I have about 12 to 14 cups of cubed up bread, just like that. And if you don't have the patience to use the knife and do all that, just, you can rip them. It doesn't matter. Rip them apart. It's okay. So now I have them all spread out on a baking sheet. My oven is preheated to 275, putting it on the center rack. I want to dry them out so they can absorb all the juices. Now I have 4 large stalks of celery here. Get that leaf off. And I'm going to chop them up and dice them up. And I'm going to also do that to 1 onion. You can add more if you want. It's your stuffing. And I have here a pan of sausage, a pound of breakfast sausage. I want to brown it up, get those little brown marks on it. Forgot to get the garlic. There's 3 cloves. Set that aside for a second. And once I have my sausage browned up, I'm going to add my veggies, going to add my celery, going to add my onion, and I'm going to saute those for a few minutes until they're softened. You want them to be nice and soft. And then at that point, once they're softened, you're going to add your chopped up garlic, okay? And you're going to saute that for a minute or 2 and transfer everything to a large pot or a large bowl because you're going to be adding more stuff and you need to be able to mix it well. And I have 5 cups of chicken broth here. I'm going to add 3 cups of it to my sausage mixture because I want to cool it down. Reason being, I'm going to be adding some eggs and I really don't want those to scramble. So I added about 3 cups of broth. And now I'm going to, with the remaining broth in the jug, add my 3 large eggs. Now, if your eggs aren't fairly large, go ahead and crack another 1 or 2 eggs into this, okay? I'm going to whisk that in with the broth. By the way, this is so good. If you don't already have a stuffing and you really want to try one and make a homemade from scratch that everyone's going to love, you got to give this a try. You're going to love it. Now, I'm going to add a teaspoon of poultry seasoning. This stuff here is like powder, so it's really strong. You only need a teaspoon. Excuse me. I'm going to add a teaspoon of thyme. Thank you for yours, by the way. I really do appreciate it. And back home, my mom always used savory in her stuffing. So I have to use savory, okay? So I'm going to add a teaspoon of savory. And if you have a little bit of sage and want to add it, add a teaspoon of it. This is a teaspoon and a half of rosemary. I love rosemary. Oh my gosh, this is delicious. You're going to love it. Now I'm going to slowly add my rest of my broth that has the egg in it. Because my sausage was still a little bit warm, I just wanted to add this slowly. Like I said, I just don't want my eggs to scramble. And once all that's incorporated in there, you're going to add your bread, okay? And you're going to mix that up really well. See how nice and dry these are? I'm going to show you. Tap, tap. See? Nice and dry. And I'm going to mix that through. Get yourself a deep casserole dish. Butter it up really well because that you're going to want to this is a fair amount. This is for, a family size here. So I was having a bit of a rough time mixing my stuffing in that pot. So I'm going to throw a glove on and I'm going to mix it in my casserole dish. You want every piece of bread to be wet. You want it to be moist. You want the stuffing to absorb, the bread to absorb all that. Now, 1 second. See this here? Don't forget. You're going to add a half a cup of melted butter or margarine. That butter mixed with the herbs and the sausage, the buttery herb goodness that's in this. Oh my gosh. Now, you could add that butter to the broth or at this stage. Cover this. Oven's 350 now. And put it in for 45 minutes. At the 45-minute mark, I took it out to check on it, and I forgot to show you guys, so I'm doing that now. And you want to check on it at around the 45-minute mark. Make sure that it's not drying out on you. And if it is, add a little bit more broth to it, which I did. I actually added another cup. So in total, I added 6 cups of chicken broth to this. I returned it to the oven for 15 minutes, uncovered, and that gets a nice little browning on it, and voila, look at that. It was so tasty. Didn't want to do a taste test, didn't want to mess it up. Miss Sonia Elaine and her daughter today are making a smoked turkey. You don't want to miss it. You'll love her channel and her family. You want to get over there and watch her. And this lady of class here, that's the baking diva making her stuffed mushrooms for today's menu. You'll want to watch that too. And our friend, the weird cook, he is making restaurant quality pumpkin soup at home. You'll want to see that. It'd be unique. And flour, eggs, and yeast, 3-way pumpkin pie. What can be more tastier than that? You'll want to watch all these channels.